All right, topic 2. Talk a little bit about MegaCon. Again, just an incredible weekend, whirlwind weekend. Matt and Dan got there Thursday, and you want to kind of start with your Tuesday. You had a pretty cool Tuesday morning. I mean, sorry, was it Thursday morning? Right, Thursday morning.
Matt, you want to take that one? That was yours.
Yeah. So me and Dan, got the confirmation that we could have coffee and breakfast with Carla Cohen and Perillo. So I was like, come on. I was like, damn, we're going to get out of here. And then I wake him up like 30 minutes beforehand. He was like, well, I didn't know. I was like, no, I can't sleep. Let's go. Let's get on the road, type thing. So got on the road down there, kind of planning like what we're going to do, But, get to the hotel they were staying at and message them. And then we got to have coffee with them and Riccardo Federici. So they were like, do you mind if Federici joins? I'm like, no, we're good. So we just had a great talk with them. And we spent a good hour there, didn't we, Dan?
A good solid hour. Yeah.
Yeah, we were this was before the con was even open, of course.
Super down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, they were down to earth, and we were just, telling them what we like about their art, etc. And they're like, yeah, all these digital artists now are taking over, and we were just talking about how we admire just the pencil strokes and the brush lines, and what they were talking about. The imperfections, like Perillo said, hey, in some of my art, you'll see my dog's hair in it. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. That's what, type thing like that. He goes, yeah, because I have my dog in my studio, type thing like that. But it was just two great artists, and got to see our original art in person. And then from there, we went to the hotel, got the passes, and then we got on the floor. So I'll let Dan kind of take over. But yeah, we both agreed that we had to get in Delato's line first, type thing. There's Dan's art. Yep.
So this is the one that I had commissioned Carla to do. So this is 11 by 17 Harley Quinn. I mean, yeah, she's just does beautiful, beautiful work. So,
and that's going to be a cover, right, Dan?
This is going to be, and yes, yep. She's submitting this for a cover. She couldn't talk about which issue, yeah. But yeah, this is going to be submitted for a cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I love it.
Because of that, Eric and I got suckered into getting our own commissions from Carla, which we did, I believe, on Friday. We were talking to her for a while, and she's like, I've got 2 slots left. And Eric's like, can you do a Batman for me?
Yeah, I couldn't speak quick enough. I think you were actually the one talking to her, and I kind of like cut you off. I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Said 2. I knew at least she would still have one too, but I was like, yeah, I'll take one, definitely.
So Eric did, and I was like, well, what the hell? I'm going to do one too. So I took her last slot, and she's like, I could do it at the show, but like I would rather like take my time. And we're both like, yeah, please take your time. And
I'm going to get my Batman that I got from her.
No, you got it. So she was going to work on them when she gets back home and ship them out, I guess. But I also got a Batman as well. So I'm excited about that. I know Eric's excited.
It's one of my highlights of the show is getting the opportunity. I didn't think she would have like, her book open for commissions. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, whew, let's do
it. This is the first piece I've got from her, but this is my Batman.
Nice.
That is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And she does really great work. She does it on the gray paper to kind of do more shadows. And I talked to her about that because like I don't do the gray. I do just white. And she's like, I could do it in white, but she's like, just you just get so much more depth and shadow with the gray. And so I said, yep, let's do the gray. And Eric is done on gray also. So yeah, we're both going to get a Carla Cohen, which is great. Money I wasn't planning on spending. I think probably the same for Eric. But that's the way MegaCon goes, especially when you're with these enablers around you. That guy right there enabled me a little bit, but that was fun. So anyway, I kind of got ahead of ourselves a little bit. So Thursday night, you guys met up with Eric. Eric arrived from the New York area, and you guys, I think,
amazing steakhouse.
Oh, we had a great dinner at Capitol Grill.
Yeah.
A block away. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, there's the one Eric's getting, something similar. The top one that looks kind of like the Hush Batman a little bit. That one, yeah, that one right there.
Something like that. I think Chris asked for one of these.
Yeah, I asked for the one below it, something like that. So hopefully, and she actually, it was really cool. She actually took photos of the ones we wanted, and so she could do something similar for us. And then wrote like Eric on her phone and wrote Chris on her phone. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that was cool. That was Thursday night, and then Friday, Ledger and I, we had 2 hours of sleep going, and we flew early in the morning. Got there around 9:30, I think it was, and met up with you guys at the con via me ambushing you on camera, I believe, which was really cool. You guys were actually,
that was funny.
Yeah, that was cool. I don't remember which booth you were at. Were you at?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I know where I was.
It might have been Melee. It might have been.
It could have been Melee's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Now that it was, because you had the Matt. You got the original blue Batman original, and then Dan got the print. So yeah, that's exactly where you guys were. And of course, Eric, God bless him, was behind the curtains waiting for hours. We waited. I didn't wait 4 hours. I know Eric waited 4 hours. But
I was waiting to meet the man behind the curtain. Yeah. Well, with Delotto, usually they don't let you do that. They were letting people camp out. So I had spoke to Matt and Dan, and they were like, yeah, we got there the day before, get there super early, and, you'd be in first in line for Delotto. So we did that Friday. We were there opening super early, except Delotto wasn't there. He wasn't getting there till noon, and they were allowing people to camp out on his line. So, I thought it was going to be like a 2-hour line, which already sounded insane to me, and ended up being that by the time I got literally in front of him, it was like 4 hours. Crazy.
So I don't know how long. Maybe I was with you 2 hours, maybe of that 4, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Probably waiting. We got our stools out.
Yeah,
cheap plug for Amazon. But that was great. Ledger got to meet Eric for the very first time, and got to meet Matt for the very first time, which was really cool.
A lot of fun to hang out with Ledger.
I was gonna say he had a really good time with you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know it was really cool, and I was a little worried about, like, I didn't know if you guys would be cool with having him around or not. So, but I was really happy he got to meet you guys. So.
I gotta thank him. He's the one that showed me where that Batmobile was. He made my trip that was the highlight of my trip, sitting in the Batmobile. I was like, thank you. I couldn't thank him enough. I was like, thank you for showing me where that was. I would have never seen it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have either, because we never made it over there. Like, we were just in Artist Alley almost the entire time, or we did some of the celebrity area. And I want to thank Matt for letting us use his VIP badge. That really helped us out tremendously. And so Friday we got to meet a couple of the cast from Gotham. So that was really neat. Matt, I believe you got to meet Mel Gibson that day.
Yep.
Which was a lot of fun.
Mel and Todd McFarlane. So
yeah, that's right.
That was my day. Yeah.
So we met. Matthew Lillard. That's who Ledger really wanted to meet. So we got to meet him. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some photos real quick, just to kind of go through some of the story. These are not going to be in any particular order, but just to kind of show you kind of like what our weekend was like. Can you guys see? Oops, that's the wrong thing. Sorry. I do not want to do that with paint. Let's do photos. Okay. Can you guys see the photo? Okay.
Yeah.
So here is Matt meeting McFarlane. He signed all of our cows, which is really cool. It's really cool getting to see him. This is who we were talking about earlier, Matt. Tell him a little bit about this.
Fede Melee. I did this commission beforehand, and I love his work. I love that he uses paint. So, and he's not a digital artist. So I love the fact that the only thing I really told him was I want Batman on his parents' grave. And he went with that idea. He sent me the prelims, and I was like, yep, let's go ahead, type thing like that. But definitely be getting more work from him. It's an awesome piece.
It's awesome. And Dan got the print.
Yep.
Which is great.
I got Chris, while we're on Melee, if you want. I have two originals from him that I picked up at the show. One has a really cool little story with it.
Are you going to do a haul video?
Yep. Do you want me to mention these?
Well, you can. I just didn't know if you were going to do one. I was going to say maybe save the story for that. Maybe.
Oh yeah, I'll save the story for that. I'll show these. You guys will have to wait.
Yeah, I was going to say a little teaser for everybody.
Yeah.
Did I see him at the show? I don't even know if I saw him. I don't remember.
Actually,
you were there. I think
the Scarecrow.
That was Alvaro's. The Scarecrow.
Oh, Scarecrow. Yeah, Scarecrow. I did.
Yeah, Scarecrow. Yeah, that was Alvaro's, right?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
This is Big Dave. This is a friend of mine. This is one of the best moments of the show, where Gabriel Delato was trying on Eric's cowl.
And it pretty much almost did get stuck in it.
He did. Oh yeah, it was pretty great. But I'm like, what a great picture. Love that. Again, meeting Todd McFarlane was really cool.
Don't take pictures with him.
Let's say, yeah, they're like, don't take pictures with them, but we all did anyway.
We're like, yeah, right.
We went full Baja.
Yep.
Got to meet a lot of fellow collectors. I want to thank everybody that stopped us and took photos with us that were fans of the channel. That was really cool. There's one of my favorite pictures from the weekend.
I had a great time. But
Yeah,
I had so much elbow room in that seat.
Big seat.
I mean, you say you had a good time, but look at your face. Like you look like you're not real happy being there.
So
it's a statue.
So I remember the picture that Eric lifted that from. We were in Europe, and I was standing. We were in like in a castle or something, and I'm standing next to a door that's about a foot shorter than I am. So the point was just, I'm too tall for this door. I just had a blank look on my face.
I love it.
If you want to hear the backstory to that, I was looking for the original photo that I used the first time when I'm like holding you like a statue.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. I don't know if you deleted it from me using it ever again. So I was like, all right, I got to find a new photo of Jeff where he looks like a statue. And to me, you look like a statue there. So I was like,
I love it.
Museum pose. Yeah,
that's right. This was a big moment for us on Saturday night. We did a VIP deal with Frank Miller. I had never met Frank. I can't remember. Did anybody else had never met him? Or was I the only one?
I think you're the only one.
Okay. So you guys had met him, but I had never met him. We got to do a session with him and Todd McFarlane where they kind of talked about their career, how they got started. And taking risks in comics. I thought that was a really cool conversation. And then we got to take photos. I want to definitely give a shout out to Dan again for being ballsy enough for saying, hey guys, let's get lined up. Or else we might still be in line right now. It's very possible. There's poor people in the back.
That's cool. He took the time to talk to me about the helmet, the cowl, ask me. Like I had to go through each one and tell him who signed it. And then joking around, he was like, do you have Bob Kane's signature on here? I was like, no.
There's Delato right there. It's Matt getting his cowl done. I think that was on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, fan of the channel. This was cool getting to see Georgia Menace again. That was really cool. It's actually funny because I had missed him all weekend. And I'm like walking at the head of the pack. It was usually me and Matt like going full force through the crowd, going like, and everybody else having to try to catch up to us. But George actually says, "Hey, Chris!" Like he recognized me, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's always in the aisles.
Yeah. This was dinner on Saturday night. Had a really great Italian steakhouse. Ledger really enjoyed his Wagyu beef steak, which was great. We had, what did we all have? We had the
beef, the
braised beef lasagna.
It was
had the chicken parm.
That was
Same.
Yeah, it was really good. Just being able to hang out with the guys that evening. There's Matt's son there.
Miko. Yep. He's back at it. He said he's booked up for like 3 months. I'm sorry. So yeah, back at it.
McLovin and Jason Bateman were at the restaurant.
Yeah. The actor that played McLovin was at our restaurant. And Jason Bateman was at our restaurant, which was cool. There's Gabriel Delato there. This is one of the cosplayers that I follow. Ran into her, which was cool. Her name's Lisa. There's what Eric was talking about, just the
that was awesome
Batmobile experience, being able to not only stand in there but sit in there, which was really cool. Frank Miller again with me. There's the two giants. I'm 6'2". Like that, you can just tell how big these guys are.
You're not 6'2".
Yeah, I used to be 6'2".
You look the tallest in that photo right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Here's the very enthusiastic Mel Gibson. He looked very happy to be there. But he did do our folded arm pose, which was great.
Yeah.
But that was cool to meet him.
The two words I whispered to him as I was walking by, I was like, "Fold your arms." That's what we're all doing.
Yeah, and he did.
They're like, don't. What did they say? Don't talk to him. Don't
talk to him. Don't look at him. Don't touch him.
That's funny. Wow.
I did not touch him.
I was looking at other people's photos. He was smiling in other people's photos.
There was
in mine. I saw him the day before, and he was like shaking everybody's hand and, "Hey, how you doing?" When y'all get there, like, don't look at him.
They told us.
I really think that he was feeling sick or something.
Yeah, probably so.
That just makes sense. But that was cool. Here's our traditional sleepy shot that we've done. We did it in New York. We did it at MegaCon. Have we done 3 of them or 4 of them? I can't remember how many we've done.
I want to say 3.
New York Mega, and this one is 3.
Yeah. So this has become our traditional photo, our end of the night. I got a commission from Anthony Marquez, which was really cool to talk to him. Got to finally meet Jock again. It took a little while.
Mm-hmm.
He was on British time.
Yep.
This was a really cool evening. So the Super Bowl evening, Eric got a hotel room suite for us to watch the Super Bowl and watch my Chiefs completely implode.
Yep.
Just one of the worst football games I've ever watched in my life. But what made it better was we got a knock on the door, and it was Danny Earls. And Danny sat on our couch and talked to us for about 40, 45 minutes, Eric?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And, man, that was just awesome. Just an awesome experience. Really cool dude. And he's adding us on a future commission list, which is great, too. So it's really exciting. And just what an incredible talent and nice guy in the community. And
really happy for him. He sounds like he has a lot of big things coming up. So really, excited.
There's things he couldn't talk about that is very exciting indeed. So some of the partnerships he's doing with some really talented writers, it's going to be exciting, really exciting.
Well, on Sunday, me and Dan got to go to the Capullo and Snyder panel.
Yes,
and you guys would have enjoyed it. They were talking about at first how Snyder was talking about how, Capullo, he didn't think Capullo liked him, and what, he would text Capullo and it would be 3 days before Capullo would respond to him and everything else like that. So it was a good little hour Q&A that they did. So it was good to get some insight. And then instead of staying in that big room, they moved everybody with the autograph into a smaller room, and you got to, of course, get your stuff signed, and then you got to get a picture with them and all that. So it's pretty cool. But their Q&A was good. How, they didn't click right away. I mean, Capullo wouldn't return his text, etc. You know what I'm saying?
It was pretty cool. We kept seeing them in the hotel.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah. And Matt, do you want to tell them about your drink story?
Well, that was Saturday night? Yeah.
That's Saturday night. Yeah.
I was like, hey, we're going to see these guys, because when I went to Terrificon, I saw them all the time out and about, walking around drinking and stuff like that, and everything else like that. So I was like, hey, well, we're going to see them tomorrow. I was like, hey, just, so we bought them around the drinks, and they came over and said thank you and everything. And then they remembered us the next day. They were like, these are the guys that bought us the drinks, and stuff like that. So,
there's another funny part to that story, though.
Yeah,
there was an after part to that story too. With
when you guys all went to bed, me and Eric stayed at the bar. And
we sat next to them.
We were literally right next to them. So Eric comes up with this idea. He's like, yo, we should ask the bartender to give us a couple of bottles and take this picture with them and say thanks for the drinks, Matt. Like, they let your credit card open.
But he did lean over and he was like, oh, hey, you guys are the ones that sent over the drink, whatever your friend. And he goes, I get that all the time. Guys are always trying to buy me food and buy me drinks.
Well, the part of the story I was going to tell was that I had asked him to sign Absolute Death of the Family is out. It's an awesome slipcover absolute book. And I wanted the three from the creative team to sign it and whatnot. So I brought it to Greg. He was happened to be at the table. I walked right up. He remembered me from the other 18 times I've met him, but he remembered me. It was nice. I put the book and he goes to sign it. And for those of you who know, most of us know Capullo's signature by now. He's got this big swooping C that he kind of loops twice, and then a squiggle with an O at the end, right? Goes to make his big swoop and C, and the ink in the marker isn't good. And so he finishes it with a different marker, and it worked out, but the C is just not good. And he goes, God, I don't have my glasses with me. He goes, do you want me to try going over this or whatever? I said, yeah, sure, go ahead, try going over it. So it's it's a little rough. And he goes, I don't like this at all. I got to sign it again. So he opens the book, he signs it on the inside. And I'm like, oh, you can make it up to me later. And he kind of laughed and we go our separate ways. So that night, after Matt sent the drink, so it had the drink sent over to them, and Greg came over to thank him and shook his hand and everything. And Greg comes walking over and he goes, you're the guy that sent us drinks. And he's shaking his hand and he kind of looks over. I was across from Matt, the other end of this lounge table. And he looks at me and he goes, and you're the guy with the shit signature. He goes, you've got to fuck yourself. That was. So I'm like, well, you're the one with the sloppy signature. And he laughed. And then I saw him like 3 more times the next day. And it was a constant running joke.
Yeah, he did that to you in the lobby too, I remember.
It was awesome. Yeah.
It's great because they were clearly staying in our hotel, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But they're just cool dudes. Him and Snyder both. And he's just such a personality. I still will never forget the time where he was going off on Prime 1 to me. That was still one of my favorite Capullo memories of all time. Oh my God, it had me in tears. It was so funny. But anyway, I'm glad you guys got to do that. I would have really liked to have done that with you guys. I had already promised Ledger we would do Disney because we had kind of made those plans ahead of time. Because I think plans got changed because of the Super Bowl and whatnot. But I'm really glad you guys got to experience that. But yeah, I wish you would have been able to come to Disney too with us too. I wish we could have done it all, but there's only so much time in the day.
Exactly.
Yep.
This was a photo I think from maybe Billy's brother-in-law. I think.
Yeah, he took
photo, which was really cool. Kind of some behind the scenes of filming our recap, which was cool, and our camera lady, which is Billy's sister.
Yeah, I think they're still waiting for like producer's credit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's Lee Bermejo. Eric got to meet him. We got to run into him a couple times.
Yeah, it was cool. He remembered me from New York when I met him at the hotel. He was like, hey, I know you.
Which was very cool. This was the cast of Gotham. We got to meet Dr. Lee Thompson, Thompson, and Commissioner Gordon.
That was awesome.
So that was really neat to meet them. This was us waiting for the Frank Miller panel in the wrong spot.
With the sun beaming on our heads.
Yeah, I was going to say the incredible sunbeam, but man, did it feel good to sit down.
Yeah.
No stools.
Same picture there. Ledger and I met Andy Serkis, and also, let's see, Matt and Dan also met him right? Yep. The next day.
I got to shake his hand and stuff. I didn't take the photo though.
Yeah.
Great. He was nice enough to do that.
Yeah, he was a really cool guy. Really nice. There's me and Eric.
That's when me and Chris met.
That's right. This was at the Frank Miller panel.
Yep. I was like, wow, you look like you guys waiting for like an airplane or something.
That's right. Ricardo Federici. I actually saw him in New York, but I never took a picture with him. So I really wanted to say hello to him again. And again, Matt and Dan got to have breakfast with him.
Super
very,
nice.
Very talented. Travis Mercer, I got a commission from him, which was fun. I had never met him before. There's a fellow viewer right there. And another fellow viewer. There's Lee Bermejo and my Two-Face commission, which I lucked out big time.
Was that guy wearing the Deadpool shirt?
I don't know who that guy is. that was clearly our Disney day.
It's Chris's disguise when he goes out.
That's right. Yeah, no one recognized me. I was very incognito. But I just popped in to go pick that up because I wasn't planning on going to the con that day at all. But that's after we got back from Disney. Hey, there's that Dan guy.
There he is.
I know that guy.
VIP.
There's Matthew Lillard. Look how big this dude is.
He is tall.
But my son really wanted to meet him really bad. And
we're back at the beginning.
That's most of the photos. That's not all of them, but definitely had a really fun weekend. Anything else you guys wanted to say about the weekend itself? I mean, for me, all of it was great, but just having dinner and stuff, hanging out with you guys, like that's always my favorite part.
Friday was awesome.
Like, it was like we talk all the time. I mean, we all through text and everything, but getting to hang physically like once a year is like awesome. You know what I'm saying? Type thing like that.
You guys, like I was saying in my post the photo, you guys took enabling to a whole new level Friday night. When you took me on that roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
we haven't talked about Friday.
Shout out to Nomar, who recognized us online for the Velocicoaster and ended up just hanging out with us the rest of the night, and then became my designated Uber driver.
I was gonna say, yeah, we meet this random guy at a park, and he like knows us, and like, okay, so then he hung out with us all night, which was really great. Fellow collector, and here he is, right here, Nomar, right here.
There he is.
He's right here, and then like, it's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, what a small world, right? It's so cool.
Whose real name is Ramon, but he just does it backwards.
That's right. That's right, Ramon. Yeah. And so that was really cool. And he definitely became an honorary rogue that evening, which was great. Yep. We did the Universal event. We really didn't talk about that, but the Friday night, if you attended MegaCon, you could get this band, and I think it was like $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
They give you 5 hours in the park, and after the park closes, and they gave you a $25 gift card, which we all used, which was great. So really, it's like $75 for 5 hours of entertainment with low crowds. And it was great. And I think we were there about 3 of the 5, I think is about what we did. We got in there and we rode Hagrid's, which was really fun. Those guys had not ridden it before. So they didn't really know what to expect. So that was a lot of fun. And around that time is when Billy showed up around that time, I believe. And we decided what we were going to do next. And we decided we were going to do the Velocicoaster. And none of us had done the Velocicoaster. I'm still shaking. I have never gotten off of a coaster and been shaky and like my mind was blown. I think we were all kind of just dumbfounded after we got off that. Do you guys want to explain like what it was like on that coaster? Because it's just insane.
It was
terrifying.
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 When we got off and we're walking out, I had said to Dan, I was like, I'm a changed person. Like, I'm not the same as I was a couple of minutes ago. That was he was like, yeah, dude, me too. My legs were shaky, and I've been on roller coasters before, Yep. I don't know. Like, that was something. It's a long ride. It's fast, and my family members who live down there, they had rode it and they were like, oh, it's great or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. It's insane. I just don't know where what team of sadistic individuals were sitting around and were like concepting this whole thing where we can make it go this fast and do this many flips and loops and give people a good thrill without actually killing them. Because it was, I don't know. That top hat part where you do a twist at the
top hat.
I thought I was going to get shot out.
So what if you've never been on this thing, it's got all these like super fast launches. I think it goes like 90 miles an hour up to that top hat. I think it's like 90 miles an hour because you're already coming in fast and then it launches you on top of it.
And there's only a lap bar.
Yeah, so it only has like most of those kind of coasters have a shoulder restraint, which I don't like because I get claustrophobic. But this thing just comes down over your legs and kind of pins your legs down. But anytime you go up on a hill or an inversion, you come off the seat.
Yep.
And so there's like 7 times in the ride where you literally feel like you're falling out of it. That's not a fun feeling for me. I don't know about everybody else. Like some people love that, but I'm like, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever been on in my life. Would I go on it again? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, not anytime soon.
We lived, so
we lived. I've never heard of anybody falling out of that thing.
No, everybody's fine. I gotta tell you, there's a little bit of distance between you and the person sitting next to you. If I was a little closer, I'd probably been holding Eric's hand.
Yeah,
It was that bad.
I screamed like a little girl on that thing. Like I just remember like, oh my God, like I just you literally think you're gonna die the entire time.
Well, the scariest piece of that first, like Billy said, it's easily over a minute long, and you are 90 miles an hour plus the whole time. I mean, it's ridiculous. But that barrel roll that you do that kind of shoots you out over the water, because this coaster is next to a man-made lake there in the park.
You're like 10 feet above the water.
And you're not that high off the water, and it shoots you and turns you like barrel roll style. And it's long enough that I don't remember who said this. It might have even been Billy or you, Chris, where you're hanging upside down and your weight is on the lap bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You come off the seat, right? And stay there for a split second.
Right.
That's unusual. Usually it's the centrifugal force in a loop that keeps you, against your seat, and it's fine, it's quick, whatever. This felt like you were falling into the damn water.
Right. at 90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour. Yeah.
Right.
Sounds familiar.
Like people who watch this show, they always say, like, we try to keep it PG here and we don't curse. Ride that ride with us. We were all doing some cussing.
Oh my God.
I said words I've never said in my life.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So anyway, we got off that and we were like, okay, we got to do something that's a little bit more tame. And so I was like, let's do something a little less motiony. So we go on King Kong. That ended up being really motiony. Then we went on Spider-Man, and that was really motiony. That was worse because it had the spin. And Eric's like, there's no spin. There's a spin.
There's spin.
Got Billy on that one.
Billy got on
that was like, it was like getting even with Billy.
Like on and off because it was bad.
And then we ended up hitting up the store. Like the store had all these statues. So we filmed a little bit in there and had a good time. And then about that time, we're exhausted. I had 2 hours of sleep that whole day. We'd done the con. We'd done all the park. We also had dinner, which was really great. We had some really fresh guacamole, which was really nice. That was a good meal together. I think at that point we were kind of done, and we just kind of wanted to go back to the hotel and chill in the lounge, which is exactly what we did. So that was a lot of fun. But again, for me, and I'll let you guys all speak. But again, like for me, it was just those evenings hanging out was really fun. Love that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like like to piggyback on what Matt said, he said it perfect. Like it's to be able to hang out. I mean, obviously we do a show. You got to have a certain chemistry about the group. But when we're physically together, we have a chemistry too. We're just laughing, joking, talk about our families and stuff like that. And this has been a couple of times for us now. I've been with Dan a few times. I've been Chris. We were in Dallas and New York, and running around in the Bronx and all kind of crazy. Me and Eric have been to 10 cons already, whether if it's Terrificon or Baltimore or Philly. So to get together and it's like we hung out yesterday, and it's a seamless thing, and we have a good time and the lounge afterwards, having dinner together. Other than Jeff Delaney not being there, it was perfect.
Hopefully one day I think we're gonna have to drug him at some point. I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
Kidnap him like old school.
Kidnap and drug him and get him to Florida.
Van.
Why don't you guys come to WonderCon, Monsterpalooza, San Diego?
Well, if you can get us in. That's
true. Yeah.
That's the hard part is getting the freaking tickets.
Well, WonderCon and Monsterpalooza, you can go buy tickets right now.
That's true. Well, we to be fair, we have never done all together. We've never done like a West Coast.
West Coast.
Am I the only one that's gone?
I think
San Diego in the last bit. I mean, I think Dan went a while ago.
2014.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Well, maybe that's something we could do sometime because that would be a lot of fun. Hell, we could hit up Disneyland. That would be. I mean, come on, it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's where I was Sunday during the Super Bowl.
Nice, a low crowd, right?
It was a little less crowded, but not a lot. There were still a lot of folks there.
Yeah. Have you ridden the mansion with a new bride? Do you like it?
You know what? I didn't because we were in line and it broke down.
Oh.
And then we were going to come back later because I saw that it reopened, but it broke down again. So we stood in line for that, and we stood in line for Rise of the Resistance, and both of them broke down while we were in line. So that was a little bit depressing.
That stinks.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's always fun to go to the cons, and I'm sure there'll be more in our future. But man, they are exhausting because you do. Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing about it is that what do you think we saw? 2% of the show. I mean, to be honest, like you just
all
don't
of
have time.
Artist Alley. I mean, we saw Artist Alley the most. I mean, I would say.
Yeah.
I like the whole. Okay, go.
I was just gonna say, like, there's just it's so much. It's so overwhelming that there's so much you don't see.
Yeah, I enjoyed like the whole Star Wars area. It reminded me of like Philadelphia Fan Expo convention. They do that with like the Star Wars stuff. It's pretty cool.
There was one booth. There was a few booths that did have a lot of statues though.
Yeah,
I didn't.
When you first walk in. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you first walked in, they had some PCS stuff. Like they had the PCS 1/3 Venom, which I've never seen in person. That was huge. And I think I don't know where you guys were. I think you guys were at Charles' booth, and I was actually trying to call Chris because they had the LBS Iron Man, and I know you've never seen an LBS piece in person.
Oh, dang it!
They had the LBS Iron Man there, you know. And
I saw it. It looked good.
Yeah, right. Yep. I mean, they were way overpriced at that booth.
Oh yeah, you don't ever want to buy them at a con.
I think they had.
Did you see the life-size rocket raccoon?
Like that, huh?
Yeah,
he had a life-size rocket raccoon. Who made that?
LBS Thor. Yeah, Thor bust, which I've never seen.
Yeah, they had the LBS, the 1/3 Iron Man that he's like on something like a crane or something like that. He's on one foot, but I think they had that one at Universal too.
Yeah.
But,
God, how did I miss the LBS pieces? I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. So
I only saw Thor. I didn't see Iron Man.
It wasn't LBS Iron Man. It was the PCS Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
The game one. Yeah, but
that's the hard part. I was gonna say that's the hard part for like me and like Eric. Like we're trying to film, and like I'm filming, but I'm not really looking at anything. Like I'm just like, you know, you're trying to get the shot. It's very impossible to film in there because there's no room. There's no room to like step out. Like a lot of times I like to film cosplay and like step out and like, can I film you? But there's like nowhere to go. Like you can't step out. So it was just really busy, really busy.
Crowded.
I have a story about that. So about 11:30 the other night, I put on Eric's video of the con, which is like an hour long.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it's just me and my wife sitting on the couch, and she was crocheting or something while we're watching it. And about 20 minutes into it, she said, "This video is making me nauseous."
Yeah, I apologize for making you dizzy before you even.
It's like this way, this way, this way, this way.
I was having issues with my my gimbal too. It kept flipping the wrong way, and I was like, "Ledger, I had to cut out a lot of curse words from that video."
I want to give a quick shout out to Ledger because I think my video was like 40 some minutes, and at least 20 of it was Ledger filming. So thank you, Ledger, because I nominated myself to like wait in the jock line because we kind of kept missing him and he was late, and we all needed. That's the one thing that we needed. It was our cowl signed by Jock, which they lucked out because they actually got a head sketch on their cowls, which is fantastic. You lucky bastards. Pardon my French, but anyway, so I'm waiting for Jock. I'm like, I just said Ledger, like, just go film, and he did a great job. So I want to thank him, and you know, he's the future BSC, I think, in the works. So
he's so funny. I was watching some of that video today, and he was so funny when he's got the camera. He's just like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm actually vlogging." Look at that, you know.
Yeah. It was really cool. It's been kind of neat to watch, especially because he's told me before that he loves going to the shows because he likes to see me that happy, and I thought that was really cool of him to say.
Pretty cool.
That's fun.
But it's also it's also been cool for me to see that he's started to get excited. He's having fun at these things, and you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. You know, the crowds and all of the craziness, but they are fun. They are fun. There's something there for everybody, which is really great. So, and I think that he recognizes the artists now. He recognizes people because he's met them before. You know, he's met Finch and he's met some of these other artists, and that was really cool. So I just wanted to give Ledge a shout out. he was actually thinking about coming on the show tonight, but he has to practice bowling, so he's got a tournament this weekend. So anyway, want to give a shout out to him.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.